So it is 6:50 a.m. on a Tuesday, and my husband and I are driving to downtown Frankfort. And this is Frankfort, Michigan. It's a little town in northern Michigan. And we are going to get the best cherry fritters. And I've been thinking about these cherry fritters for 4 years. And they're from Crescent Bakery, and if you don't know what a fritter is, it's kind of like a donut, but it's like almost fried dough, and theirs are made with local cherries, and they're crispy on the outside, and they have them warm every morning, and I've been thinking about them for 4 years. My family has been going to Frankfort, Michigan my whole life in the summertime, but we had missed the last few summers. I was pregnant, and then COVID happened, so I have been waiting a long time, and I've been thinking about these fritters, and I am so ready for this fritter, and I have let myself get so excited. And I say let myself because any of my close friends or my family who know me, they know if they find something they love, a new thing, ice cream, a skincare line, they won't tell me about it because they're afraid I'll love it too. And that sounds really mean, but I totally get it because anything that I love, this is my superpower, if you can call it that. Anything I love gets immediately discontinued, removed from earth, pulled from the shelves, it's gone forever, totally unavailable. And I'm somebody with dietary restrictions. People like me, we usually go to a restaurant website, we look at the menu, we make sure that when we get there, there's something we can eat. I don't. Because whatever I've picked, by the time I've gone to the restaurant and walked in the door and sat at the table and talked to the server, they don't have it. It's not on the menu anymore. They've sold out of it that evening. The chef died. Whatever. I can't get it. So I don't do that anymore. And the worst thing that I've ever lost in my affliction was these things called crunchy gummies. They were a candy. I discovered them when I was pregnant with my son. They were Target brand, and they were literally called crunchy gummies. And they looked like the Willy Wonka, those gobstoppers that come in the yellow box. They were these little circles, and they were like that on the outside. But if you sucked on them for a second, then you could chew on them, and in the middle, it was chewy, and not like Jelly Bean chewy, more like Starburst chewy. And you can probably tell by the way that I'm describing this to you that I have some sensory processing stuff happening. And so to find something, a textured food that was like the best texture I'd ever eaten, of course, a month later, Target stopped carrying them. And my husband, who has become very adept at finding the things I have loved and lost on the internet, I swear to you, eBay was created by somebody like me. He found the manufacturer, the bulk candy manufacturer that sold candy to Target. And he managed to get me a 6-pound bag of crunchy gummies. And by the time I finished them, the bulk candy distributor had also discontinued crunchy gummies. And listen, it's been 3 years now. My son is 3 years old. I think about that shit every day. I wish I could have a crunchy gummy. If I could find a way, I would pay. Anyway, so when I say I've let myself get excited about this cherry fritter, it is not without research. I have done my homework on this one. I have been stalking their Facebook page, the Crescent Bakery Facebook page, for a few months now. I have seen their website. I've gone there in the mornings to make sure cherry fritters are on every morning. They are. My cousins who spend the entire summer up there, a couple weeks out from our trip, I call them. Crescent Bakery open? Yes, it is. Do they have cherry fritters? Yes, they do. Excellent. A few days before we go, I'm talking to the Airbnb host, the house that we're renting, and I ask him about Crescent Bakery because, you can never have too many sources. And he says, yes, I had a cherry fritter from there this morning. And I'm like, sweet. I am going to get there. We get there on Sunday. They open on Tuesday morning. I'm going to be there on Tuesday morning. I am going to have a cherry fritter every morning with my coffee looking at the lake, and it is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And as we round the corner and Crescent Bakery comes into view, so does a handwritten sign on the door. And I know before we get halfway down that street what that sign is going to say. And my husband is trying to talk me down. He's like, no, it's probably just like about masks or something. Like, it's going to be fine. I'm like, I know it. And we pull up outside, and I get out of the car, and I read the handwritten sign, and it says, due to a COVID outbreak among our staff, we are going to be closed until next Sunday morning. Our flight home is on Saturday. They are closed the exact 6 days that we are in Michigan, the exact 6 days. And I really thought that this was going to be it. This was going to be the time that I overcome the beast. It wasn't. And I cried, guys. I'm not going to lie. I cried. I did. But I enjoyed the rest of my vacation. It was a cherry fritter free vacation, but I enjoyed it. And I would lie if I haven't checked flights a couple times since we've been home to see if I could just jump to Traverse City, get a cherry fritter, and come home for less than $500, but no dice. Anyway, I will close with the fact that my new most favorite thing in the world is standing up here and telling stories at the Moth. So if any of you have had it in your mind that you might want to do this, you should do it soon because the clock's ticking now.